Milan Fintech Summit 2023 here in Milan at MiCo for 2 days of working to talk about the fintech industry. In this moment, we are in the Unicorn Tales column, the place where we want to talk and tell about the story of fintech's unicorns. So in this moment, we are together with Mariano Spalletti, who is Managing Director Italy at Qonto. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, Mariano, today the world of fintech is an evolving world where a lot of players are coming to do business, to develop new solutions. But according to you, to your vision as a unicorn, what is the real state of the art of the neo-banking sector within the fintech industry? And mostly in Italy, what is the situation according to your special observatory vision?
Of course, there are too many important perspectives to adopt in this kind of, let's say, analysis. Of course, there is the perspective from inside of a company and the perspective of the market. What we can say about fintech is that in the last 6-7 years, we've seen this industry skyrocket. No, somehow there have been an increasing number of players getting into the market, and this is even truer if we think about the biennium 2020-2021 with the pandemics, which has accelerated somehow this trend. At the same time, another event that happened, let's say last year, which is unfortunately the war in Ukraine, changed a little bit the landscape, and this, let's say, has affected two things, especially the cost, which has gone up somehow, and the funding, which has dried up. So funding are getting lower and lower. Investors are way more cautious. And for fintechs, which are particularly capital-intensive businesses, this has changed a bit. And now we can see the focus is switching from the top line, so from the growth of the business itself to, let's say, a higher efficiency and ideally profitability. In Italy, the impact that we've had has been, especially when it comes to Italian fintech, is not the ideal moment, or it's pretty tough because on one end we've physiologically always suffered, the lack of funding in Italy compared to other countries such as Germany and France, and at the same time also the exit opportunities has gone down because evaluation has gone down with the funding dried up that we've been witnessing.
And according to this situation, and also always from your point of view, what are the challenges and maybe what the fintechs, the companies, the professionals who work in this sector can do to transform these challenges in opportunities in order to keep growing in the market and maybe return to grow in the market?
I believe that in terms of challenges, we are about to face the three main challenges. The first two concern the companies. So first of all, there's also the growth, let's say, topic or question mark. You need to keep growing even when you scale. In order to do so, you need to increase your potential audience, and you can do so by just enlarging the number of services that you provide. So provide more services, more fintech services, and on the other hand, also by increasing the trust, because sometimes this comes, let's say, the penetration comes along with the education of the market. Are these services safe? Yes, no. So the education is very important. The second thing is the profitability, as I was mentioning before. Now, companies need to be more and more attentive to be sustainable in the future and ideally profitable in the short term. And third thing is the regulator. We know that the longer way that the PSD3 is about to get out at some point, and this may be a strong enabler for attracting also third non-financial players into the financial world.
And this could be also a new key to make safer and safer the fintech solutions and the market. But what could be the next trend under a technological point of view in a period when artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud, and other technological improvement are influencing so much the market? So according to you, what could be the next trend in this sense?
Looking at the very short term, I think that there are two things that might be a game changer. The first one is the one that I mentioned before, PSD3, because it can be a very strong enabler for the banking as a service business model to widespread and become finally mainstream. And the second one is artificial intelligence. As we know, this is pretty mature by now and keeps, let's say, growing in terms of indeed maturity as an hockey stick. It's going very high, skyrocketing. And I believe that AI can already be deployed for several purposes, starting from fraud detection, for instance, or anti-money laundering, which is safety indeed, and on the other hand, also from the profitability standpoint, also to decrease the cost to serve and become more profitable sooner.
And before you talked about the education of the market, education in these days, according to us, from our point of view, is a sort of trending topic, for example, in the Milan FinTech Summit, maybe also because our we can say our concept this year is linked to the literature. So about this, according to you, what could be the role of education also in this month, October, that is the financial education month?
In general, I believe that in Italy we start from behind because also, let's say, looking at the OCSE data in terms of financial literacy, we are among the latest, let's say, position, and this is not easy. As I said, the pandemic has accelerated the digital approach, so we are going up. But in terms of specifically financial services, I believe that we need a mix of top-down and bottom-up initiatives. So what we've been doing, for instance, with Qonto is bottom-up. We are trying to organize or to develop, to spread, let's say, content around who we are, why fintech is safe, why fintech is useful to save time and money. But we also need at some point some top-down investments and initiative from the government, for instance.
Yes.
One thing that I always say is that it would be very nice to have in Italy some TV program, maybe mainstream, which is focused on, in general, in technology, and why not in financial services in this specific moment. I don't see that yet, but things are moving, so I'm confident.
We are trying to.
Yeah, I'm confident this is going to happen pretty much soon.
Okay, so important. Thank you for being with us today and also for your advices.
Thank you for inviting me.